Hello, my name is Kim, and today's book is No Jumping on the Bed by Ted Arnold. This one's kind of a funny one. In his bedroom near the top floor of a tall apartment building, Walter was getting ready for bed. Before turning out the light, his father said, "If I told you once, I've told you 1,000,000 times, no jumping on the bed. One day it'll crash right through the floor. Now lie down and go to sleep." "Just one more time," asked Walter, but instead he plopped down on his pillow and squeezed his eyes closed. "Good night," said his father. He turned off the light and pulled the door closed. The room was dark and quiet, except for a soft thump, thump, thump coming from the room above. "That's Delbert upstairs," thought Walter. So there he is in his bed with his dog or a stuffed animal, I can't tell. He hears thump, thump, thumping. He switched on the bedroom lamp. If Delbert can jump on his bed, so can I. Walter bounced higher and higher. On his last jump, his hair brushed the ceiling. That's a high jump. But when he came back down, his mattress creaked, the floor cracked, and the whole bed tipped sideways. Then down through the floor fell Walter, bed and all. There he is jumping. And there goes his bed, heading sideways, about to go down. Now it happened that Walter's bedroom was directly above Miss Hattie's dining room. She was more than a little surprised when a bed flew through her ceiling and Walter landed in her plate of spaghetti and meatballs. "I was not expecting company for dinner," she mumbled with a mouth of meatballs. There she is, here he comes. And oops! There he is in her plate of spaghetti and meatballs. That wouldn't be too fun. Yep, there she is. Said Walter, "spaghetti is my all-time favorite." But before he could eat, his bed smashed through the table and kept right on crashing down through the floor. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, the plate of spaghetti, the bed, and all. They're going down through the ceiling. Miss Hattie's dining room was above Mr. Mattie's TV room. Mr. Mattie didn't even notice a bed falling through his ceiling until a meatball bounced off his head. Miss Hattie tumbled into his lap and Walter splashed into his aquarium. That's where the fish live. "I've already had my bath tonight," said Walter. He wanted to stay and watch the monsters on TV, but his bed crunched through the floor, taking the TV with it. There's Miss Hattie sitting on Mr. Mattie. See who rhymes next. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Mattie, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. Walter's Aunt Batty had just moved into the building. She was still unpacking when Miss Hattie, Mr. Mattie, and a dripping wet Walter tumbled through the ceiling right into a box containing her rare Patagonia stamp collection. There she is with her boxes, and here they all come, crashing down through the ceiling. All right. There he is in her stamp collection. And he's wet, so they're probably sticking to him. When he burst through the bottom of the box, Walter was a sticky mess. "I see you've started collecting stamps," said Aunt Batty as she followed Walter through a new hole in the floor. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Mattie, Aunt Batty, the stamp collection, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. There they go. They're all falling down now. All right, here's our next people. Patty and Natty had worked 3 days building their dream house with blocks. Afraid that Fatty Cat might knock something over, they carefully shooed her out for the night. Then the upstairs neighbors came through the ceiling. "Excuse us," said Walter, remembering his manners. "We won't be staying long." The words were barely past his lips when Walter's bed bashed through the floor and continued on his way. So they got the cat out of there, but now they got Walter in there. I don't think their blocks stayed. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Mattie. I did it again. Miss Hattie, Mr. Mattie, Aunt Batty, Patty, Natty, fatty cat, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. That's a lot of stuff. The last thing Mr. Hanratty ever expected to see was a bed coming through his studio ceiling, followed by nearly everyone in the building. And this is Mr. Hanratty. He must be a painter. There he is painting, or trying to, so they all show up. If I'd known you wanted to see my paintings, he said, I would have tidied up a bit. But they never once paused to admire Mr. Hanratty's colorful artwork. They were too busy splashing in his cans of paint. Then his floor caved in and everyone followed Walter's bed down through the hole. Down and down fell Walter, Miss Hattie, Mr. Matty, Aunt Batty, Patty, and Natty, Mr. Hanratty, Fatty Cat, 17 cans of paint, the stamps, the TV, the spaghetti, the bed, and all. They all rhyme, all these people's names except Walter. Yep, there they come. Maestro Fergetti and his string quartet were astonished by the colorful crowd that fell from the ceiling. The maestro loved an audience, but even if they dropped in unannounced. But when Walter's bed smashed through the floor and paint splattered everywhere, the maestro wished his audience would leave. And so they did, along with his string quartet. Those are all the people that are playing string instruments. Maestro Ferlighetti's practice room floor was also the basement ceiling. It was dark and quiet as midnight down there. Walter squeezed his eyes closed and tumbled through the darkness until he landed on something soft. Ooh, luckily for him. He opened his eyes. Everything was in its place. His bedroom lights were out. The door was almost closed, and through it Walter could hear his mother and father talking quietly. No more jumping on the bed for me, mumbled Walter as he lay back down to sleep. So, it was all pretend in his mind. He's dreaming. So there he is looking out, and he's going to lay back down. Suddenly, he heard a creak. The ceiling cracked, and down came Delbert, bed and all. Down and down fell Delbert. So I think all that stuff with the spaghetti and the stamps and the string quartet might happen. Thanks. So the lesson is no more jumping on the bed. Hope you like the book. Bye.